What's up, guys? It's Christian from Nordic. Today I'm bringing you a commentary over the one of the matches from the Nordic Extravaganza. Now here we have me, actually, on the feature match, playing the Emancipator Prankid deck versus my opponent, who is playing True King Dino. So as you can see, I activated Upstart Goblin, and unfortunately I got drolled. Typically, one of the reasons I really like that Emancipator Prankid deck is it doesn't lose to the really prevalent hand traps right now. Like the hand traps that hurt this deck are the ones that were popular last format. But when your hand is specifically this hand was like supplier and only access to the Prankid engine, the Upstart Goblin basically took away. The draw on the Upstart basically took away my backup play of making double Butler. So instead, because I didn't open any Emancipators in my hand, I had to go for this sort of backup play of just making an Apo for 3. Now I was considering for quite a while here if I was going to make Apo for 3 or just make Dweller pass. But now I'm passing to my opponent, Apo for 3. He's going main phase and activating Fossil Dig, which is quite scary. I instantly regretted my decision of not making Dweller when I saw this. So yeah, my opponent's thinking on what to add. He still does have to deal with Appaloosa for 3. So it's not super hard to do with Dino. He should be fine because of Misk, but we'll see what he ends up choosing. He's thinking for quite a while here. And he goes for Giant Rex. Okay, so the fact that he adds Giant Rex means that it's very likely that he already has access to Oviraptor or Misk in his hand, so that's very bad for me. Okay, so he goes Diagram. I have no hand traps. I do play 6 in the main, or did play 6 in the main, but I did not have any in my hand. So he goes Diagram, pops Giant Rex, and adds Lithosagen. That's the True King that came off the ban list. So I'm just asking my opponent here if he could please read it to me, because I couldn't remember quite specifically what it said. I just knew it banished from the extra deck and it popped Earth monsters from hand. And of course the other, regular True King effects. So he activates Pill, which unfortunately basically plays around the end board I made. His deck wouldn't have struggled against Apo for 3 that much anyway. But the fact that he had instant access to the conductor means he can literally just run it over and it'll be fine for him. But yeah, he summons conductor, and I think he's going effective Giant Rex, and I negate it with Apo, and then he beats over Apo with the conductor, and then he just passes on conductor. So I'm checking my grave. My hand is still not quite that good. Again, no Emancipators in the starting hand. So I drew a Seeker, which means I have a potential play here, but my opponent, of course, takes the read and goes, okay, well, he had no Emancipators last turn, so if I just Book of Moon his normal summon, he'll have to pass, which is exactly what happened. So not a good read from my opponent, but a correct read from my opponent. So this time he goes Diagram, pop Petite, and then Petite effect. He gets to summon out the Oviraptor, and this is basically if it wasn't already game with the draw on the Upstart Goblin with such a subpar hand, then this is game times a million. I think when he resolves this Oviraptor, I'm probably just scooping. Yeah, he's going for Misk, so he's even playing around Nibiru. He's gonna set up for the Dolka, so he has 2 monster negates. Yeah, there we go. And he has the Misk attached, so he has follow-up for next turn with his Dinos. And he even has the Petite to pop with the conductor, so he can summon out a Pankratops or another negate. So I have to play through 4 interruptions with a hand that loses to 1. Oh wow, he's even going Lithosagen. So he's popping the True King in his hand. He searched off Diagram and the Petite. And he's triggering the Petite, so he gets to summon out I assume a Pankratops. But we'll see what he chooses. Okay, almost. Okay, yeah, he chooses to summon another Misk. More follow-up, I suppose. Maybe he doesn't play Pankratops in the main. Yeah, so I do actually have the Nibiru, so it's very clever of him that he made the Dolka, because his monsters were not protected by Misk during this turn. So very heads up play from my opponent. However, the obviously like the draw and the upstart when your hand has 0 at Emancipators really hurts, because you can't even, like, I actually had the option of making a Gallant Granite too, even though my hand didn't have access to anything, like, because the deck is consistent through like pathways like that. But under a draw, you're not playing, basically. You're making like one interruption, whether it be a Dweller, an Apo, or something like that, or the double Butler, if you have no access to the Emancipators before you get trolled. So anyway, getting ready for game 2. You can see that I'm done siding. My opponent's still thinking on what to side, and that, like I said, like, one of the reasons I really like this deck is it's tricky to side against in the current format, because like the good cards against it, the only card that sort of covers it is like Gamma, because it gets rid of the monster from field, so it can be a little hard to recover from. But the deck plays around like Lancia, it plays around like Droll, except for on upstart. So I upstart again, and I think I asked my opponent if he has Droll, but he doesn't. But this time again, like I normal the Roxy's, and I start to make the Meow Meow. And I'm thinking on what to banish for Roxy's, because in my hand I have both Droll and Lancia, and a Called By, and I can't remember the last card. But basically I have to choose between banishing the Droll or the Lancia, and I choose the Lancia, and I draw another Droll off the Roxy's. Now he Gammas me on the Doodle Bird, and yeah, that's the Fancy's resolving, since it's Chainlink 1 and Doodle was Chainlink 2. So here I go Signs, and I get to Reborn the Rock. Then we're making Gallant Granite, detaching 1 to search Researcher. Then Effective Researcher to summon itself, and then Effect to excavate 5. Now we hit a Guardian, which is, it's okay, like at least it's hit something, but a Doki would have been really key here. So we're going to make the Raptite, and we're going to try to excavate 5 again. So here we hit the Doki as the only rock, but unfortunately I have no rock in my hand, so I guess actually my comment before is quite inaccurate, because a Doki in the hand would have done nothing. So I have to just set one and pass. And I think, yeah, I do have a Wind Engrave, so I have like a DD Crow in case he has like Misk. But the fact that this Raptite did not reveal a tuner again is just really unfortunate. And it makes for a really subpar end board. And the fact that he like I had a choice between keeping the Lancia or keeping the Droll. And I'd say it's like 50-50 against this deck. Depending on what kind of hand he draws, like if he draws more Dinos or if he draws more of the True King engine. So the fact that I banish the one that I needed for his hand specifically this game, and drew another Droll, which was, having 2 of them does nothing. Yeah, it just makes it. Overall, I think this match was just really unfortunate for me, the Prankid Rock player. But it's Yu-Gi-Oh! It's part of it. Sometimes you're going to be a bit unlucky. And it's not like my opponent has like crazy hands. It's just, I feel like the deck just failed me a little bit in this particular match. Definitely not a deck you wanna play for too long if you're the type of person to get salty over Yu-Gi-Oh! Because this deck will fail you sometimes, and it's very frustrating because like the odds are definitely in your favor, and you just lose because of RNG sometimes. But yeah, he's making Conductor, and he's making Dolka, and he's basically just beating over the whole board. Remembering that he is under Droll, I don't think that it influenced his plays too much in this particular hand, because he didn't draw his True King engine. He only drew the Dinos, so this is where the Lancia would have been really good. Yeah, I'm just looking at my hand. Going Reborn for the Gallant Granite, so I can hit over the Dolka. The Raptite would be too small to hit over it. Oh, so he actually goes Conductor to pop, and then, yeah, sets the Gallant. Kills the Gallant. And yet, like, somehow we're still in, like, a top deck war, almost. So I normally Droll. I think that my hand is, like, Parallel Exceed, so I can make Almirage and trigger it. Yeah, exactly. So I make Almirage, trigger the Parallel Exceed, and I try to get something going. But unfortunately, he did draw a monster, so, yeah. And here I just scoop it up. So that's going to be the end of this match. Quite a short one. Quite a, like, again, pretty unfortunate match from my side. I feel like the deck did fail me a little bit, but my opponent did also play correctly. So it's hard to get too upset about it. But anyway, that's going to be it for the commentary on this final round from the Extravaganza. And I'll see you in the next video.